Good evening and welcome to News 9. I'm Bansi. Now, the BDA, Bangalore Development Authority, G category sites are allotted to the privileged and the influential only. The G category sites have been allotted to about 159 leaders belonging to all the three main political parties, namely the Congress, the Bharatiya Janata Party and the JDS. Take a look.
Curiously, all of them falsely claimed they own no property in Bengaluru. Some of them are ministers in the present-day government or former ministers. The G category allotments were made under BDA Site Allotments Rule 1984. These sites have been allotted in violation of the Rule 10.3 of BDA Site Allotments Rule 1984. Many of these allottees have declared to the Election Commission, however, that they own land in Bengaluru. Then how is it possible for these sites to be allotted? The Congress, who is in power now, and the government seems to have been quite generous in its allotment of the G category sites to existing as well as former ministers. DK Shivkumar, Energy Minister, R. Roshan Beg, Hajj Minister, Ramlinga Reddy, Transport Minister, Dinesh Gundu Rao, former Minister, Amrish, former Minister, Prakash Hukkeri, MP, Umashri, Women and Child Development Minister, H.Y. Meti, Excise Minister, Rudrappa M. Lamani, Muzrai Minister, H. Anjaneya, Social Welfare Minister, K. Abhyachandra, former Minister, Tanveer Seth, Primary Education Minister, Ramesh Jarkiholi, Small Industries Minister, Babu Rao, Chinchansoor, former minister, Priyank Karge, ITBT minister, A. Manju, animal husbandry minister, H.S. Mahadeva Prasad, corporation minister. It is not only the ministers in the Congress who have been given the G category sites. We have the names of even the BJP leaders who have extracted their pound of flesh from the government on G category sites. Lakshman Savadi, former minister, Balachandra Jarkiholi, former minister, Vishwanath Chandrasekhar Mamani, MLA, Govinda M. Karajola, former minister, Murgesh R. Nirani, former minister, C.C. Patil, former minister, Jagdish Setar, former chief minister, Vishweshwar Hegde Kageri, former minister, D.N. Jivaraj, former chief whip, C.T. Ravi, former minister, Shobha Karanlaje, MP, Arvind Limbavali, former minister, Krishna Palimar, former minister, K.G. Bopaya, former speaker, Rebu Naik Belamagi, former minister, G. Karunakar Reddy, former minister, MP Renukacharya, former minister, K.S. Ishwarappa, former deputy chief minister, H. Alappa, former minister, S.R. Vishwanath, MLA, Suresh Kumar, former minister, V. Somarna, former minister, R. Ashoka, former deputy chief minister, A. Narayanaswamy, former minister, Sri Ramalu B., former minister. If the BJP have been able to get their share, then the JDS is not far behind in ensuring that their netas too get the coveted G category site. Iqbal Ansari, former minister, H.C. Balakrishna, MLA Magadi, Y.S.V. Datta, MLA and spokesman, Chaluvaraya Swami, former minister, Gulihatti Shekhar, former minister, C.P. Yogeshwar, former minister. The G category site allottees are all from the high and mighty. It looks like the netas have been gobbling up the land from the G category site when many actually own land in the city. Bansi Kalappa, News 9, Bengaluru.
Well, are G category sites only meant for the high and mighty politicos? Are not the netas lying on record for the G category sites when their own election affidavits prove they own land in Nama Bengaluru? You can call us on 22360302 or 22360305. You can WhatsApp us, text us on the number on your screen, that is 99 809-451-38. And to talk about this, we have a panel of experts here in our studio. First, we have Mr. Vijay Kumar. Mr. M.N. Vijay Kumar is a senior IAS officer who is superannuated. He was with the rank of Additional Chief Secretary and who has been a crusader against corruption. Okay. We also have Mr. Ganesh Kaundinya, who is a social activist who is also fighting his own battle against corruption and misrule. We also have Mr. R.L.N. Murthy, who is an advocate who practices in the High Court and in other courts in Karnataka. Well, first let me start with you, Mr. Ganesh. Now, this entire issue is no small issue.
Yeah.
It's a scam of, let's say, about 500 crore rupees.
Yeah, much more than that.
Much more. If you take the present market value, about double.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all these people, it is on the record that they have lied to get that G category site.
Almost, yes.
Okay. Now, what should be done about it?
See, number one, first of all, what you have shown is only a minimal. There are 1,530 G category sites.
Okay.
It's been totally issued by BDA.
Okay. Over a period of?
Over a period of 85 to 2013, you can say.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the G category
So,
is,
roughly over a period of about 40 years.
yeah, apart from the G category, whether government can issue G category, whether these are all issued under discretionary quota of Chief Minister.
Okay.
Whether Chief Minister has the power
Okay.
to direct the BDA to allot sites is one question which has been already settled by High Court, that Chief Minister doesn't have any power to give direction to BDA to allot sites.
Okay.
So-
now, in the period of 40 years, roughly, we have had about 7 to 8 different chief ministers.
Yes.
In 85, we had a different chief minister. In 2013, we had a different chief minister. I think about 9 or 10 chief ministers or 12, 11 chief ministers we have seen in that period.
Yeah. So, over the period, the public are getting taken for a ride is obvious. Now, what is the question is, it is not only G category, these people, how do they really get under allotment rules?
Okay.
The allotment rules clearly prescribes the fact that if they own a site or allotted by BDA or KHB or Karnataka Housing Board are not eligible or any housing societies are not
If
eligible.
they own a site or a
If you own a site on your own fund, self-acquired also.
okay.
Suppose if you purchase a site and you have already a site,
Still you are not eligible.
still you are not eligible.
Okay.
That factor is recently clarified by Additional Chief Secretary in the this thing of Kembegowda layout, in the allotment of Kembegowda layout. He has clarified that those who own a site or allotted shall not be eligible.
All right.
So even the tentative list is being examined
Okay.
with their application, saying that whether they have said they own the house. So most of the people, for example, recently I have lodged a complaint. Like BDA commissioner has told, generally if you would say hundreds of people have taken, I cannot take any action. Maybe. But specifically I have lodged a complaint. Regarding the recent election, by-election of the Hebbal, this thing, there is an affidavit given by Y. Narayanaswamy, who has declared his assets to the election commission.
He was
But at the
previously
same
MLC.
time- Yeah, MLC.
Y. Narayanaswamy was
Y.
previously
Narayanaswamy was
MLC.
MLC, and at the time of contesting, he has declared an affidavit to the election commission wherein he talks about his immovable property assets. Wherein he declares one site in his wife's name and 2 properties in his name in the election affidavit. Now, he has been allotted a BDA site, G category site in 2009. The letter what he has written to the then Chief Minister says, he doesn't have any property in Bangalore. To discharge his official duties, he needs a site. This is the representation given. Now, to discharge...
is a lie.
No, discharge his official duty, there is a legislative home, there is a room given for them. For outside state MLAs, already government has thought of and given arrangements. Where is the question of he needs and what he does with that? He gets allotted a G category site and he builds a commercial complex and leave it for rent. So, is BDA meant for making the people richer? All these
rich.
powerful richer.
The rich richer.
By doing real estate business or building commercial complexes. So, is this allotment valid? All these allotments are bogus, in violation of rules of BDA, and all these sites have to be immediately confiscated. There is no need to further inquiry, a committee, nothing. It's a blatant violation of the rule, glaring violation.
Why don't you need a committee of inquiry?
Now, committee of inquiry, High Court said there is a committee of inquiry required because out of this 1,530 allotments, there are also cooks and drivers and servants of politicians and ministers.
Former chief ministers, former ministers, cooks and politicians and drivers.
Yes. So they were allotted. The High Court felt in the normal course, if these poor people apply to BDA, if they are eligible, then that cases could be considered. So form a committee to find out who could be otherwise eligible in the regular quota among the common people. Not about G category. G category is a violation of law. They have already ruled.
Okay.
Now the question is, even among the common people or the big people or anything, see, when there is an encroachment of drainage, you see,
They've gone out to demolish so many houses.
No, what I mean to say is, where is the opportunity given for these people to say anything? Bulldozers come, crane comes, they demolish straight away, and the officials are not clear which map they are following. Court has given different directions. So these people overnight they come and demolish.
Absolutely.
Why this blatant glaring violation which is available readily with them, why they are hesitant to resume the site?
And that too for a property worth 500 crore plus.
More than that.
More than that.
1,530 into 6,000 if you take also, it crosses 900 crores.
900,000
Even if you take 6,000. I am including RMV extension site where 20,000 is the square feet rate. I am putting on 6,000. So even the conservative estimate.
So roughly it's about 1,000 crore scam.
Exactly. It's
okay. Mr. Vijay Kumar, you're an IAS officer, you have fought corruption at different levels. Now, this is a different kind of corruption. This is MLAs, MLCs, sitting ministers, ex-ministers, ex-chief minister. They have gone on the record to the BDA to say they have no property, please give me a property. While their own affidavits made to the election commission says, we have properties. So there is a conflict of affidavits. So what do you do with these people? And we, you know, the names are out. We have seen Suresh Kumar was one minister whose name also figured. He was a former minister whose name also figured in this, but who at least had the courtesy to return it back. He said, I'm returning it. I think he is the only minister or ex-minister to return it.
See, the thing is that you want to loot public property. How do you loot public property? You actually have to silence all the people who make noise. So the best thing is to give to each political party. So whichever party comes, they exercise this power, whether it is legal or illegal. They exercise this power and allot sites. And actually nothing but nothing short of giving a cash.
It's just
quite a good number of them.
A 4 crore, 10 crore bribe. That's all.
Actually, quite a good number of people would have sold those
Absolutely.
also immediately. So the thing is, no, it is actually not just restricted to so-called politicians. The beneficiaries include relatives of IAS officers,
relatives of former chief ministers,
relatives of former chief ministers,
cooks and servants.
and I will say that all 4 pillars of democracy. I will put it like that. Okay. So it is not a small scam, and because very eminent people of all walks of life are involved, it actually sort of flourished for a long time. And you know that as per the recent land grabbing act, actually this amounts to land grabbing, because you file a false affidavit to get something which you are not entitled
to,
which you are not entitled to.
Absolutely.
So the thing is that if government is very serious, then that recent land grabbing act should be used, and land should be taken away. And
first,
those
the
persons
land should be taken away.
Yes, should be taken away, and those persons should be sent behind bars.
They should be penalized by sending them behind bars.
Yes, because
now,
it's a criminal offense.
Is it a criminal offense? I want to ask you, Mr. Murthy, you are an advocate.
Yes.
Now, suppose I give a false affidavit
Yes.
saying I don't own land, and then I get a BDA site costing 4 crore or 5 crore or 6 crore or 10 crore, 20 crore. Does it amount to a criminal offense?
I'll tell you, no law prescribes any amount of fine or any amount, what extent fine can be imposed.
Okay.
The law prescribes the duties and liabilities of a person.
Okay.
For example, you are talking about BDA.
Yeah.
BDA is within Bangalore. The Karnataka laws are made for Karnataka, entire Karnataka.
Correct.
Whereas BDA is concerned, BDA Bangalore, we have a own law called Bangalore Development Authority law, Act passed in 1976.
Okay, what happens if you violate that
No,
law?
no, no.
and lie?
One minute. I'll come to you.
Yeah.
See, we have common uniform law within Karnataka. Entire Karnataka, we have a law. For example,
Correct.
friend
No,
was
but
telling-
can you answer this
I'll come to
operative
that point.
thing?
Before that, I want to clarify how BD has been formed.
No, we'll go into that later.
Yes.
For the moment, now suppose I go before BDA
Yes.
and get a site fraudulently claiming I have no property,
Yes.
and
tell you.
then I receive the property which is, let's say, worth
I'll tell you.
20 crore.
I'll
Does
tell
it amount to a criminal offense? Yes
Criminal
or
offense. File declaring a false affidavit amounts a criminal case.
no? Does it amount to perjury?
Yeah, no, it's offense.
It's an offense. It's
Yes.
a criminal. Is it a punishable criminal offense?
Yeah, false affidavit is punishable criminal offense.
So coming back to the issue, it is a punishable criminal offense.
Certainly.
Number one. Number two, they have gained illegally something that they are not entitled to.
Yes, certainly.
What should be done now?
No, that's what I was
Because now it has come to light, on the record it is proven in their own election affidavits, so many of them have said they own property. So many of them have, in their own affidavits, they have said they own property.
Yeah.
So what do you do with them now?
See, actually, if you slightly go back about the creation of the Padmaraj Committee, Justice Padmaraj
Justice
Committee.
Padmanabh,
And actually they included...
that looked into the BDA
Yes, and they
allotments.
included an IAS officer who himself was a discretionary quota beneficiary,
What's his name?
Mr. P.V. Mahishi. He himself got
He
a
was formerly Chief Secretary
chief
of
secretary,
Karnataka.
and he himself had taken under discretionary quota a site from BDA,
Okay.
giving false information. See, the thing is that how these things can get exposed, because when you form a committee, you include people who are who got expertise in hiding things. Now again,
So it's like sabotaging it from within.
Yes, it is. It was, and I have actually opposed and I given complaint against it. I had even given complaint to the Padmaraj Committee itself, saying that one of your members himself is a discretionary quota beneficiary. That too, he had given false affidavit to get the site.
So after that,
So-
was he still retained?
But he continued.
He continued.
He continued. Only thing is that he
So
succeeded
first-
in messing up the entire report so that it could not be accepted. See,
So it is like from within.
yeah, it is
you know,
sabotage.
yeah, it's like sabotage.
Yes.
From
And-
within,
and-
you just break it up.
And people are happy that it got sabotaged because very powerful people are involved
Beneficiaries
in
of
this.
G category.
Yes.
Now, I want to ask you. Now, G category is a provision meant originally to give these people, deserving people who don't have a property in Bangalore, a property at a quick speed. Because BDA normally, with one application you might not get, two applications you might not get, three applications you might not get, four applications you might not get, a BDA site. So to expedite the process for these important people, they said here is an option where if you really don't have a property in Bengaluru, here is an option to get one. And that loophole in the system has been misused by everybody.
This is actually rule number 5.
Okay.
The allotment is categorized, wherein rule number 5 to this G category comes for allotment of the people who are in public service. This G category is in public service. I don't know whether a qualification of being an MLA or ex-MLA justifies the definition of public service.
Absolutely.
Number one. Number two, what I am trying to tell you is G category is a larger issue where High Court has already decided that government does not have the power to give directions to BDA to allot on discretionary quota. So all these people are issued. On that basis alone, government could have taken action. The committee is formed for a different purpose to find out whether the ordinary people who are also allotted were otherwise eligible in the normal this thing when they put an application. But the issue here is the people who give a false affidavit, the people who are not eligible under 10(3) of allotment rules have got. So it's a blatant violation tomorrow. Why tomorrow? Now, if they don't know. See, for example, when there was a reaction sought to an MLA, he said, I am not aware of the allotment rule.
Who's the MLA?
whoever it is, I don't want to name him. So now, we are telling you now through this
Does,
channel.
does ignorance of law in any way insulate them?
No,
from
no
the
more
punishment?
ignorance. I am telling you through your channel that it's violative. Go and read 10.3, which clearly specifies if you own a site, you are not eligible. Now you know. Are you going to give it surrender tomorrow?
Absolutely.
You don't know the rule. Now you know the rule.
Now you know the rule. Will you surrender it?
So are you going to surrender? Or, like BDA Commissioner said, generic, I cannot take action. I have given a specific complaint. Are you going to jump the wagon and confiscate the site of that MLA?
No,
Immediately?
can Rajkumar Khatri do it? Rajkumar Khatri is now the
Commissioner of
BDA commissioner. You know, is he vested with the power, or is it beyond him now?
No, I see. As far as taking action against any false affidavit or illegal things, he has got every power. Because he did not actually, he can initiate the.
He can initiate
Yes,
the
yes, he
proceedings.
can
I'm
initiate
sure.
the
See, I am not even touching the point of criminal action. I am touching the point of first confiscate the sites. Let BDA enrich itself with a number of free sites to allot to poor people.
Absolutely.
That's what I am talking about. Forget about the criminal action. We will come. Whether all these MLAs and ex-MLAs will be in a single prison or Parapana is going to be filled with only politicians and common man doesn't have space. That is later. But now, whether they will take back the sites to be issued, each site is, dimension is 50-80. Whereas in Kempegowda you are forming 30-20. Now 3 sites can be formed out of 1 site to allot to poor people. Are you going to confiscate these sites and give it? Number 1. Number 2, when you are,
This virtually looting the system.
yes, number 2, you asked about G category allotment. It is not allotted by a single letter direction by someone. There is a committee in BDA
Okay.
comprising of commissioner, chairman and revenue secretary or whoever it is. There is a committee.
Committee
This
comprising
committee-
of commissioner,
Yes,
the
BDA commissioner.
chairman BDA,
Yes.
and the secretary revenue.
Yeah.
Principal secretary, I guess, revenue.
No, Secretary of the BDA.
Secretary of BDA.
The secretary of the BDA.
Okay.
So this committee goes through the application, scrutinize the application, and decide who is the man, definitely fit into the definition of public service. Who render public service? Whether it is some BJP MLA who watched pornography in assembly, or some minister who indulges in some other things, whether these people are, and how their riches are. Whether, see, Supreme Court says, Supreme Court and many other courts say very clearly says, BDA is an organ of the government which has to function as per the government to the welfare of the people. Is these allotments is in the interest of the welfare of the people.
Absolutely.
They are not the people who have won the Olympic medal. There is a separate quota of sports. What is this public service? Definition is missing. So this is a humble.
So on the face of it, it's illegal. It
No,
should
it's-
be taken back by the government.
Even for a defense person, if it has to be allotted, it has to be allotted under 10.3. If he has a site, he cannot be allotted BDA. BDA site cannot be
Okay.
allotted. When
What-
that is the case, how these people got?
What constitutes service to the nation? Does an MLA, MLC, a sitting minister, is he a person who we can consider is serving the nation? This is the question before us. We slip into a short break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. We're talking of does it constitute what a minister is doing, what an MLA is doing, does it constitute to be public service? Yes or no?
See, this is basically a collusion. It is being done in the interest of the public to gain the
Not in
confidence of the MLAs in the government. It is nothing to do with public.
It's just a collusion.
It is a collusion.
And it's
it
a
is
crime.
qualified intention. It is bogus. It is faulty. It is cheating people. What else you want? All the definitions of negativeness against the welfare of the people is what has been happened in this.
Would you think so?
Yes, absolutely. I'm very clear.
It's a fraud on the
Blatant violation of the rule.
Okay, we have a journalist. Now, surely an MLA, an MLC, a minister is entitled to some kind of a site in Bengaluru.
But they already have one. How can you give it? The rules are very clear. It says if you or any family member of yours already has, it cannot be given. So that being the case.
So as a senior journalist, Mr. Ramakrishna Upadhyay, as a senior journalist, you have covered politics for years and years. So as a journalist, we know only one person who was named and he returned the site back. Only Mr. Suresh
Kumar claims to have, yeah.
Now apart from him, nobody has returned the site. Do you think it is right that all these persons named, there are 159 names, all of them should return the sites?
Obviously, if they don't return, in fact, the government should confiscate it. In fact, that is what the Padmaraj committee said. See, it looked into 438 cases. 438 cases were referred to it. They recommended to the government in 308 cases that these people already have sites and they're given false, certificates. Affidavits.
But nothing has happened in spite of it.
No, the committee said you cancel it, whereas the cabinet took a decision to reject that report. They rejected the report, and after that, just for an eyewash, they set up a new committee. And now the Justice Farooq committee is there. They are trying to look into this. See, this is all a complete fraud on the people.
It's an eyewash.
It's not only eyewash. I think it's a big fraud on the people.
It's a fraud being played on the people.
And for the common people, you say that we are going to give 5,000 sites, 10,000 sites. You announced,
it never happens.
And in between, you have been denotifying. Where are these layouts going to come up? Absolutely. You announced a huge this thing, that Shivaram Karant layout, that was one of them. Nada Prabhu Kempegoda layout one. What has happened to them? Government cannot even form the layout properly.
It's a fraud being played on the people. It's a fraud being played on you and me. We have a caller joining us. Nalini is joining us from Nagarbavi. Yes, Miss Nalini. Nalini avare?
Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
Heli.
Sir, ನನಗೆ 2008 ನಲ್ಲಿ 2030 BD.
ಹೇಳಿ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
You can hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
ಸರ್, ನನಗೆ 2008 ನಲ್ಲಿ BDA ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲಾಟ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಸರ್, ಸೈಟ್ 2030.
ಸರಿ.
2030 ಅಲಾಟ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಾನು ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಅವರು ಇಷ್ಟು ಅಮೌಂಟ್ 1,13,000 ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ನಾನು ಕಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಫುಲ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ವರ್ಸ್ ನಾನು ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗುವಾಗ ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ನಿಮ್ದು ಕಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಏಜ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ದು ಸೈಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಆಗಿದೆನೋ. ನಾನು 10 years ಆಗಿದೆ, ನಾನು ಇಷ್ಟವರೆಗೆ ವೆಯ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಇವಾಗ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಇವಾಗ ಕೆಂಪೇಗೌಡ ಬಡಾವಣೆನಲ್ಲಿನೂ ನಾನು ಅಲಾಟ್ ಇದು ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ನನಗೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಯಾವ್ದು ಲೆಟರ್ನೂ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಈ ತರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ BDA ನಲ್ಲಿ. ಯಾರು ಕೇಸ್ ವರ್ಕರ್ಗಳು ಒಳಗಡೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನನ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
I get it. I understood it. Now this is a classical grievance. 2030 site.
I'll tell you one thing. See, before of course everything is right, but some law prescribes the discretion has been misused and misutilized by the government. What is D category? The government category of site. For example, if Kempegoda layout is considering about 1,000 sites, among 1,000 sites, some of the sites under, for example, 100 or 200 sites has been reserved for the government to grant to exercise the power which is vested
under the discretionary quota. Correct. Can you respond to this lady's concern? She is an aggrieved person. She says 2030 sites. What can we do about it, Mr.?
See, it's simple. Now, why the rejection of applicants happen itself is BDA is acquired the land at a higher cost.
Mr. Vijay Kumar, would you like to answer after he is done? Yeah.
Here is an opportunity for BDA to serve, to come back to the trial of functioning to the welfare of the people. Confiscate all these sites, make into smaller sites and give it to these people.
Confiscate it, make it smaller sites and give it.
1 minute. I'll tell you one thing. About BDA is concerned. BDA, it has two powers. One is development powers.
Absolutely.
And one is monitoring the development.
Correct. In this lady's case, what can we do as an advocate? What can you do? What can I do as a journalist?
If she has applied for a site to be allotted by the BDA, to be allotted by BDA,
already allotted. Yes.
Their application has to be considered.
Yes.
If the application is rejected, what is the reason for?
On what grounds have they rejected it? Yes. And that can be challenged before the court. And has the court intervened?
What is the reason you are quoted to reject the application and why you are not allotted the site to me?
Okay, that can be challenged.
Yes, 100%.
So the point from the advocate is taken.
It is actually total lack of transparency which leads to such things.
Okay.
she was telling that she had earlier applied and no again she has to apply. But the thing is that once application should be made only once, and they have to keep, BDI has to keep track of it.
And
Not
one
that
thing
the person who wants site should keep on applying.
Keep
every
applying
time.
second
Yes.
time, third
Yeah.
time, and
So
And I want to
automatically
make
the
a
seniority
mention
and
here. I
other
want to
things will
make a
be built
mention
into it.
here.
yeah, I'll just come to you. Yeah,
Seniority will be built into it. If
seniority
you insist
will be
only
built
on
into it.
one
Date
time,
on,
one time
considering the date
registration.
on the application.
Yes.
Yes.
One time
That is how it
registration.
was being done earlier.
Yes.
So in the 80s and 90s, when the BDA started this process of allotment of sites, you get seniority. First, you didn't get it in the first
First
course,
attempt,
second attempt,
home
third
attempt.
attempt. So depending on the number of attempts, people used to be prioritized. So that's how. Now the whole thing has gone for a 6. Nobody knows that who have applied, who have got it, and probably BDA itself doesn't have the records to look at what is happening.
Now, in this, the very grave issue is land is scarce in Bengaluru and expensive.
I'll come to that.
Here is about 1,000 crore worth of land. 1,000 crore worth of land being given virtually as a gift to the very powerful, to the ex-ministers, to the MLAs, to sitting ministers. This is the issue at hand. And I'm sure all of them are answerable to the people.
And in
I
fact, the High
challenge-
Court has.
I
High
challenge
Court
this
has-
government. If it has got nerves,
Yes.
let them take action as per the prevailing laws.
Absolutely.
I will give them 20,000 sites on hand free as per law. They can get it. It is much more than your Arkaudi lands, what they wanted to do. This is as per law. Do they have the will? They have the will to break down the poor man's house without even knowing the law, whether it is proper or not. It is not decided. We are not telling that the Rajakal way should not be open. But what map to follow, you are not even clear. There is a clear violation here. Why are we not acting? So is this government anti-poor? Is this government anti-law? What is it supporting? What is it functioning for? I really fail to understand. I challenge them. I will give them 20,000 sites of various dimensions. Have you heard of? There is one site which has been given under G category to a person for 9,600 square feet, 80 by 120. Do BDA has a power to form such
Who's
dimensions?
that person? Who is that person?
Amrish.
Amrish. Okay, the former minister.
So he has got
Okay,
9,600 square
he
feet,
has got
and he is poor. Is he
80
in need of site?
80 by 120 in which place is this?
No, whichever the place, I don't remember.
All right.
Because I have gone through.
Okay.
But one thing I know, the glaring dimension, 120 by 80 has been given by G category, and is he a needy person?
Is he a needy?
Supreme Court says you have to function in the welfare of the people and serve to the needy of the people. All these people, are they needy? Once they elected, they have a room in LH. They have HRA. They have so many.
No, I don't agree that they are not trying to serve the poor. They are doing. You see, 80 by 60 to the other people. For the poor, they are giving 20-30. So within that, they are distributing
for the
it.
poor, 20-30.
20-30.
For the rich,
it is 50-80.
50-80.
Or 80-120.
Or 80 by
And now
120.
we have
So,
the famous
they're-
constitution of
they're
Article
distributing to
14,
the poor.
which
There's
talk
no
about
doubt about
equality among people. Where is the equality now?
Okay, Mr. Vijay Kumar, I want to ask you, are only the politicos beneficiaries in this? Or do you see the other
Journalists,
bureaucrats also?
Even journalists have taken.
Journalists are there.
No, bureaucrats.
Bureaucrats are there.
Yeah, okay. Do you have any?
Yeah, they belong to
Now, apart from
so-called,
Mr. Mahishi.
All India Service. See,
Okay.
All India Service, and they are IAS officers who never worked in Karnataka also. They are there. So it all depends on the whims and fancies of the chief minister at the
This
point
is
of
only
time.
one sector. Let me tell you.
Would you like
For-
to name anyone?
No, I think it would be out shortly. So
It would be out shortly.
Yeah.
See, for these IAS officers and IPS officers, there is a separate housing society maintained wherein this BDA and government gives lands for to be allotted to IAS. Where is the question of they getting allotted from BDA? When there is a separate
This is in
division-
addition to that.
Yes, Metropolitan House Building Cooperative Society is meant for IAS and IPS officers alone for them to get a site from the society.
Okay.
Then where is the need for them to get?
Okay.
This is only one sector.
I also want to know if any judicial officers figure on this.
It is there.
Of course they are there.
Yes.
It is very much there.
Yes.
They also have a judicial layout.
No,
which has
I'm
been
talking
formed.
of G category. alone.
Yes,
Correct.
it
They've
is
been
very
given.
much there.
They've been given.
And I don't want to go into the names and things like that. It is very much there. It has been declared by them in the affidavit given by them to the High Court.
Really.
In fact, one of the cases that the Advocates Association, is it, where the judges have taken the sites, is totally illegal, and they
That's
have not
the judicial layout.
Yeah, they have not given a final verdict on that.
They haven't
because
given a final
obviously
verdict
it
on
has
that.
to be cancelled.
Okay.
Whole thing has to be cancelled.
It
They're
has
not-
come. It has come again. It has been reviewed and stayed.
Yeah, that's what,
It
that's
is
what I'm saying.
judge
So
decides
final-
judges' cases.
Finally, they have not given.
Okay, now, presuming that some of them don't return the sites, I'm presuming some of them could return the sites.
Who has to
Most
interpret
of
that?
99% will not.
See,
90.
if
So what do we
anybody-
do with the 99%?
Supreme Court
Anybody
in a case-
violates the regulation or law, who has to interpret, where it has to be interpreted?
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah.
I want to know
That is not
I'll tell you.
happening. That is not happening. That has to be happen now.
No,
Why
no.
it is not happening?
There is a solution which is prescribed by Supreme Court and the High Court of Karnataka.
Not
The
Supreme Court, not
One
High
second,
Court.
one second. Let me tell you what is happening.
Okay.
They said give a notice to all these people with a specified time. If they return, give them the money what they have given for the site as advance, because they have given 1 lakh, 2 lakhs.
They would have
Now
paid
it
a
is-
few thousand rupees or a few
whatever,
lakhs.
whatever. Now the rate is beyond. So return the money given by them,
Which is only fair.
which is fair.
Yeah.
Now,
With interest.
if they
With
don't,
interest.
if they don't return the site, then confiscate this out without any benefit for them.
Wow, that's a good.
Once
This
it is a confiscation,
is a Supreme Court ruling.
there is a High Court ruling in the reason Judicial Employees Society, which has been stayed by a review petition. That is something different. But the suggestion seems to be good.
Fair.
In a Supreme Court, this thing where Jyoti Basu giving a discretionary quota to a judge, he constructed a bungalow in that. That he sets aside. He says, CM does not have something called discretionary quota. He cannot give it to public figure. So the allotment is cancelled. Now what do you do with the house? He has already constructed. Now BDA is going to come out with another things. It is sold to third party. Already construction has happened. Padmanabh Committee talks about that. Supreme Court gives a solution. You fix the land rate is for the government. It is clear. Now auction only the building and fixed land rate to the public, general public. Whatever comes as a building rate, give it to him. No problem. You confiscate. You take the
Absolutely.
land rate.
Absolutely.
So you are
we
enriched.
have a caller joining us. From Banashankari, we have Mahesh. Yes, Mr. Mahesh.
Hello.
Hello, yes. Please go and share your thoughts.
Yeah, see, my name is Mahesh.
Yeah.
My father was allotted site number 373 of Kengeri Satellite Town
Okay.
in the year 1965 when it was CITB.
City Improvement Trust Board.
Yes.
Okay.
And so far, when my father during his lifetime, he had gone about 100 times to 150 times to the BDA,
All right.
but nothing went through. And then he had made all the payments, and then when he asked for the registration, they tell him the file is missing. And they want him to submit all the original documents, which is already submitted to the BDA formally. A few of the documents were in my possession after his death. He died in 1994. After 1994, I've been continuously going for about 100 times to 150 times per year. Every 2 days, 3 days, I'll be there. But so far, they have not moved the file at all.
Okay.
They're asking me to again.
Since this directly does not concern this issue, quickly, Mr. Vijay Kumar, would you like to respond?
See, the thing is that
Or can we talk to him after this program?
No, he can approach the court. Simple.
He can approach the court?
Yeah.
He can
you
approach.
would have already done, most probably.
He
Would
can
have
approach
already-
the courts.
Would have already done. I think better is that he should file a case against the.
Because even
with
in
the
law,
SAP
there is
at
a
least.
time period
Yeah.
under which you can apply. Otherwise, you have to. The court will ask you, why have you not come before
No,
us?
I'll answer the question raised by him. If at all his father was allotted, that has been not confirmed. Confirmation deed can be given, can be registered in favor of the LRs of the person who are dead already.
Okay, what is LRs?
Legal heirs of the person.
Legal heirs. Okay. So, Mr. Murthy, who is the advocate on the panel, says that if it has been allotted but not confirmed, we will talk to you about this case soon after this program. We will call you and speak to you. But for the moment, understand that there is hope for you. All is not lost. You can still go before the court.
Yes.
So, coming back to this topic, it is the rich and the powerful that have, you know.
One thing I want to interpret,
No,
I'll tell you.
No, coming back
this
to
is very
this.
important point I want to talk, because you talk about BDA jurisdiction.
Okay.
There is a land, acquisition of land, use of land. I'll tell you, the BDA is meant for the purpose of only politicians, and BDA rules is meant for to enrich the politicians. Based on that requirement, they amend the rules and regulation they render, and also master plan.
And if at all the commissioner serves them well, then he gets promoted to the KPSC as chair.
Like that. I'll come that.
That's how
Please
every
allow me.
political party will
Please
support.
allow me.
If he serves them well,
No.
nobody will object.
I'll come to that point.
Neither party will object.
I'll come to you. I'll come to you.
They're all supporting.
Okay, now back to this. You know, we're straying away.
Yeah.
Mr. Vijay Kumar. Now, in all this, we have a serious problem at hand. It looks like none of them will really give back what they have got now. How do we take it back as common people, as citizens of
See, if you have seen in the so-called stormwater drain, people who are really ignorant of law and other things, they were cheated and they have been punished.
they have been penalized.
Punished severely.
Yes,
And
very
here we have got lawmakers,
Yes.
advisors, and those who are supposed to actually uphold values, indulging in all such activities. And I don't think they deserve any sympathy. If those innocent people did not deserve sympathy, certainly these people also don't deserve.
Okay, what do we do? Considering they will not return it, what do we do?
We have to take it
Government
take
has
it
the power to
take
take
it
it
back.
back.
Take it
The
back.
government will just sleep over it. The government will do
that is
nothing.
the
Attached.
So what do we
Attached.
do? What do we do? You know,
As a first attempt,
can we file a PIL?
see, we
No.
are
Already
legal
is
people.
Already-
Already is there.
Already
No.
filed?
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Government has a power to attach the property.
Correct. Considering the government is not doing anything, there is no strength in the
Yeah.
government engine to
Yes,
move. What do
yes.
we do as people?
There is no,
See,
and one thing,
we are talking
one
in
minute, 1 minute. I'll tell you, for G category sites are concerned, no opposition parties are speaking that.
Nobody is speaking. They are suddenly on the same
And
page.
any small
Everybody
issue,
is on the same page.
Any small issue comes, they do day and night dharana at the stage dharana on the ground of the well and everything.
Absolutely.
But whereas G category site is concerned,
They are all united.
I'll tell you, there is no opposition leader, there is no opposition party to oppose the action of the government, which is illegal, and also judiciary also not interested to take the matter into the consideration. When this is a case where people should go tell, the people should motivate them on their own, and they form a own court to decide to recover the property of public.
Who will do it then?
Public.
No. This is going. See,
See,
we
because
cannot use-
people by ourselves,
Yes.
what
See,
can
see,
we
see.
do?
Yeah.
Surely we cannot
Then
go.
what
We
you
cannot
do?
have a parallel government.
Yeah, we cannot have a
Not
parallel government.
See, we
Not
can't
parallel
have
government.
panchayat
The
and
judiciary,
We cannot have Kap
judiciary and also opposition parties are not coming forward to give justice to public. Justice has to come forward.
No. How many people, as a public representative, has written?
Nobody
take the course
except
of
Suresh
action.
Kumar. Nobody except Suresh Kumar.
No. WRITTEN written representation to the government,
Yeah.
asking them take action
No
against
one.
these people.
No one,
Let
sir.
public come together, asking them that. Then after that, if they fail, then we can send a notice under CPC 80 for them to take action. Otherwise, I'll go to the court and then go to the court.
When
Mr. Vijay Kumar,
they demolished the Raj Kalve, there was no CPC 80, there was no order, there was no law. Immediately they have gone with the JCBs
Because they have
and
done-
they demolished it.
They demolished it.
Why can't for G category sites?
Why not for G category? Very fair observation.
See, in all these things, what is happening is that we don't know rest of the players in this case, who are the other beneficiaries. What is needed immediately is that the BDA should publish names of all beneficiaries under G category.
Okay, here is a
And-
wonderful suggestion. BDA, in all fairness, Mr. Rajkumar
I will
Khatri
step one-
has to come out with the list of all the 1500 beneficiaries of G category.
along with their applications and affidavit. See, that is
Along
more
with
important.
their applications and
Affidavits.
affidavits, only to show transparency
Yes.
and the flaw.
Then
Put it
we
on
will
the
know
website. I think they
why
should put it on the website. Call
The
for
Raj
people's
Galve
comment.
why
has
all
been a
pillars are
website.
keeping quiet.
Why is
all-
everyone keeping quiet?
Then we'll
This
know.
is a
I tell you, the opposition parties are not ready to raise this issue because for them already benefited. If they raise it, they'll lose their lands and sites in the city. On the other hand, they lose the values in the future. They want to come to power. So my request is,
Even the deprived have to come together.
whereas BBMP has publicized the Raj Galve encroachment on the website, why can't BDA is not publishing the list of G category allottees and their details in the
I really don't know if Mr. Rajkumar Khatri will remain as commissioner if he proceeds against the G category allotment.
He would have been posted on the assumption that he would not reveal such things. So forget about
Okay,
it.
so that answers the question. We'll quickly take in a caller. We have from Basaveshwar Nagar a caller, Mr. Ramakrishna. Hello?
Hello.
Yes,
My name is Ramakrishna Manja.
yes,
Hello.
yes.
My name is Ramakrishna Manja. I am calling from Basaveshwar Nagar.
All right.
This discussion on this allotment of G category sites to politicians,
Yeah.
this has been going on for a long, and these panel discussions are going on even almost all the channels. But what happened? Nothing has happened because we, the public, are mute spectators, and we are not able to do anything. My suggestion is, why not the media people or the senior advocates cannot take these such cases to the court? Because court is the only means through which these bloody politicians can be brought to book. Almost all the politicians from all the parties, irrespective of the parties, they have been given the G category sites. And most of these people, they are owning lots and lots, crores and crores of worth of properties in Bangalore.
I really appreciate. But
No,
media
wonderful,
and press is-
wonderful
no,
thought.
media and press is doing its duty of bringing it to the notice of the
Bringing
public.
it to the notice.
And what Ramakrishna has done about this issue, that is another question prevailing for me. Whether he has come in the support of this illegal, this thing, and protests against, has he written any letter? So this is the
One thing I want
information
to
we are
mention
giving to
here.
the public.
What?
Public has to come together.
One thing I want
Deprived
to
have to
mention
come
here.
together.
One thing I want to mention here.
It's very easy to
Please
question.
don't mistake me. If any officer commits suicide, the public will stage dharna. The public demanding CBI inquiry. Public demands the compensation to the family of the officer.
Well said.
The Rajgalways are demolishing of the Bangalore. The Bangalore citizen are coming to the footpath. Why the public people are not coming to stage dharna before the BBMP or before BDA? Please answer to the public should answer the question. For ordinary officer or any police officer commits suicide, they will stay dharna in front of the police station.
When there is
in
a
front of
Nirbhaya
BBMP. Why not for the person who lost the land in Rajgalway encroachment? Why people are not coming?
This is depriving people like me and you and Ramakrishna. All of us have to come together. For Nirbhaya rape, the whole nation
Whole
born.
nation.
goes,
Here there is a blatant violation.
Thousand crore scam.
Why people are not raising their voice?
Yeah,
in concern?
because I'll tell you why. Because of the politician, the people are divided into politician followers. In 100 people, 10 people are only the finger raising people. 90 people are divided by 30% equally. BJP, JDS, Congress, supporters, they don't want to raise
So
the
they will
finger.
just
What
keep
he is
quiet.
trying to say is, if at all,
Yes.
quote, if Nirbhaya's incident has been committed by a politician,
Yeah.
it wouldn't have been
Yeah.
a national scene.
No one will come
Because it was done by ordinary people,
Yes.
it became a national issue. So that is how it is happening. That's what
Yes,
Murthy is
yes,
saying.
100%. And that's what, sir, everything is politicized, publicized. And
Everything is
people
politicized. So what happens
politicized.
is people are muted.
Sir, no
people become mute
I
spectators.
don't agree with the people. There is no people at all. They are all political party members.
Okay.
Based on this strength, they'll take decision for the party's benefit and party man benefit.
Okay. So all is not
Just want
lost.
to make a point.
We are running out of time. Yeah.
But there is not much the public can do on their own. What can they do?
What
Can they come to the streets?
They can
and
cry
how it
themselves
is?
hoarse.
When the courts are- when
we
the
have
courts
to
are-
we have to make sure
Yes.
that our institutions function. Basically courts have to take up these cases very strongly.
Yes.
Okay.
They're not doing it.
So
And
what
they
can
don't
we do technically? What can we do?
See, these cases have to be filed in the court.
We can go file cases in the court.
No, I'll
By
tell you.
whom?
Mr.
Whom? By whom?
Okay.
Why not?
So
By,
so
that's
what?
why I say by people
What,
who have concern.
what can we come? We have totally run out
If
of
you go
time.
to
I'm
court,
sorry, I have to wrap.
Court will not give any justice.
We are-
They'll give interim stay, not to demolish Orion Mall, but they'll not give interim stay while demolishing the poor man's wall. This is what court is doing.
Okay. So here we have come to the very end of this discussion. What do we need to do as citizens before we are robbed of more of our wealth? Just now the G category has robbed us of about 1,000 crore rupees of our wealth. What can we do about it? These are questions before us. Thank you for joining us on this program. On the other side is a News 9 discussion on the Bandh which they have called for tomorrow. Stay tuned.